You associate the word activism with people with science and people who not extremists, but when I think of Chris and Sandy, I think of people who, not humble, but people that don't want to force their views on other people.
I mean, we thought our parents were married. That's how they explain it to us. So when we think of marriage, we think of Chris and Sandy. We think of our parents. But I know for a fact that there are lots of kids in my school who don't want to see them as married.
When you find someone who's not only your best friend, but supporter and advocate, it's a natural next step for me to want to be married to that person.
I'm a 45-year-old woman. I have been in love with a woman for 10 years, and I don't have a word to tell anybody about that.
Being able to call him husband is something so definitive. It's something everyone understands. I can't speak as an expert. I can speak as a human being who's lived it.
Dr. Mayer, as one of the world's leading experts on stigma and discrimination, do you have an opinion as to whether domestic partnerships enjoy similar symbolic and social meaning?
In my mind, Proposition 8, in its social meaning, sends a message that gay relationships are not to be respected, that they are of secondary value, if of any value at all, and that they are certainly not equal to those of heterosexuals.
Our focus is on the marriage issue and on the religious and liberty of consequences and other—
Right, and what I said is that the same people who are funneling their money through your organization are opposed to partnerships and respect on every level. May I finish?
I have fought for the marriage issue for 25 years because I believe that the idea for a child is a married mother and father. Marriage is not a relationship invented by the government. Marriage is a social
Listen,
institution.
Mrs. Gallagher, you're entitled to believe whatever it is you like.
How convinced are you that you are gay? You lived with a husband. You said you loved him. Some people might say, well, it's this, and then it's that, and then it's this again.
I'm convinced because I'm 47 years old, and I've been in love one time, and it's with Chris.
But the question has to be, well, why does the government regulate this relationship? Why is it that—
That's a good question. Why doesn't it leave it entirely up to private contract?
It's because this relationship is crucial to the public interest because, Your Honor, the procreative sexual relation is an enormous benefit to society, and it represents a very real threat to society's interests.
A threat?
A threat in the sense that to whatever extent children are born into the world without this stable, enduring marital union and raised by both of the parents that brought them into the world, then a host of very negative social implications arise.
And you believe that permitting gay and lesbian couples to marry would significantly advantage the gays and lesbians themselves and the children that they are raising, correct?
When you say advantage, do you mean improve the well-being of?
Yes.
My answer is that I believe that adopting same-sex marriage would be likely to contribute to the well-being of gay and lesbian households and their children.
When I was 13 years old, my parents discovered my journal, and for the first time, I had admitted to myself that I was gay. And I had actually written those words, and they found that and read it.
And what happened when they found that journal?
They were very upset. They were yelling. I remember my mother looking at me and telling me that I was going to burn in hell. It was shocking. I never heard anything like that from my mother. I mean, you don't get much worse than eternal damnation.
I believe, Your Honor, that there is a political tide turning. I think that people's eyes are being opened. People are becoming more tolerant and understanding. The polls tell us this. This isn't a secret. But that does not justify a judge in a court to say, I really need the polls to be just a few points higher. I need someone to go out and take the temperature of the American public before I can break this barrier and break down this discrimination.